Well, good morning, folks, and welcome to the farm. I'm just getting the tractor ready for a little thing I'm going to work on here. In fact, I've actually got to empty our burning barrels. And it's brutally cold this morning. It's like -20. So I got my fuzzy hat on and my hoodie on. But yeah, out there, -20 today. I got to empty the burning barrels because while I've been working on a flooring project in the house, and you only get like 8 or 10 boards to a box, and so then you got to manage all this waste, and that can be a real challenge, especially in rural properties. Is like, what do you do with all this stuff? And so it's not uncommon to see the use of a burning barrel. So, you know, wood waste, cardboard waste, paper waste, things like that can easily be burnt, but it still piles up, right? Now, if your burning barrel gets over 50%, suddenly it becomes a hazard. So that's what I want to do today. Even though there's snow on the ground, it's cold outside, you know, if a little bit of something falls out of the burning barrel, probably not going to be a big deal. But I mean, we're renowned for being windy here. I've got, not very far from there, all my hay storage. Not very far from there on the other side, I've got the camper trailer, right? Just, you know, here a few short steps away, I've got the shop, right? I don't want anything to fall out of the burning barrel, start a fire. Even if the risk is low, I just don't want to take the chance. So I'm going to fire up the big tractor here, get the burning barrel slung up, lifted up, and then we're going to go dump all the ashes. This, of course, is dependent as if the batteries hold enough charge to start. Let's have a look. It actually did start for me yesterday, so fingers crossed. Not today. Can't get lucky 2 days in a row. I'll fire the battery charger on here. You know, the thing is, there's even a master isolation switch here. And still, for some reason, that battery up there will not contain a charge. And it's a new battery. There's a switch. I don't know if there's like the Bermuda Triangle, you know, a piece of it is tucked up inside that tractor somewhere. Why this battery always goes dead is beyond me. I can't even fathom why. So while I'm waiting for this bad boy to charge, let's talk about what happened yesterday. So yesterday, and actually the day before and yesterday, I did speak out on this YouTube channel as well as my personal Facebook page against the actions of our government in saying that, you know what, the invoking of the Emergencies Act and the subsequent tactics used afterwards were somewhat un-Canadian. Well, you know what? I expected there would be some level of censorship from YouTube, from Facebook, perhaps even, you know, I mean, people said they got phone calls from the government. None of this happened, which is good. I mean, that's good. What I wasn't expecting was the level of backlash and censorship from people that I actually know, right? You know, we had folks from the very far extreme right congratulating me for finally arriving, you know, and joining their camp. We had folks from the very far left accusing me of becoming a traitor and saying that I'd left their camp. And so I just, you know, point of order, I guess, so to speak, is that throughout this whole thing, whether you politicize it or whether you know, because it's a public health emergency or, you know, because of social media, I don't know what the catalyst really is. The fact of the matter is I never sat throughout this whole thing, never sat in anybody's camp. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And it doesn't have to be right or left or even in the middle necessarily. At the end of the day, you know, everybody is free to have their own personal, you know, decisions, choices, thought processes. And you know, for as much pressure as there may exist in the world, you don't have to sit over here or sit over here and you're A or you're B. I mean, you can quite easily be in the middle, left to center, right to center. You know, you're free to be whoever you want to be. And so I really wasn't expecting to see, you know, quite so much of that come at me yesterday. And I mean, well into the night, like we're talking like 11:30, midnight, you know, just some really out of pocket comments that came my way. And I was surprised by some of the people that made some of these comments. I thought, you think you're better friends with people than that? Or you think they're better people than that? And, you know, that's one thing that this definitely has served as a catalyst to, I guess, open up and be a little more transparent about how people feel individually. It's also got them feeling pretty passionate about clinging to, you know, some cause or another it served to be very, 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 very divisive and you know, not very unifying whatsoever. And I would have thought, well, we can all agree that we don't agree with the government, but yeah, evidently that is not the case. So for all the comments they made over the last couple of days, I know some of you maybe found those disturbing. We're gonna go back to talking about chickens today. Don't worry. So I've got my burning barrels all taken care of. I'm back in the shop here now. Before I head off to go feed the sheep, I just wanted to touch on what I was previously discussing. You know, largely the slow descent of society. What is causing that? Well, you know, our ability as a society, or even largely as humanity, our ability to differ without hatred has seemingly all but disappeared. And I mean, what causes that? Well, I would say the advent of social media has definitely had an impact on that. You know, freedom of speech has, I mean, that's always been a thing, right? But now we legitimately do have freedom of reach. Sacha Baron Cohen famously put out a video a few years back speaking to the ability to attract people to your cause and how Hitler could have purchased 30-second ads and put them all on Facebook and what that would have done to society. But that's very much our current reality. I mean, it used to be the case that if you just wanted to be an idiot, you'd have to work really hard to find another idiot that was, you know, like-minded enough to join your cause. And now I mean, you can create a Facebook page and all of a sudden the idiots will they'll just pour in, right? You know, idiots or otherwise, it's irrelevant which term you use. The point of the matter is it's really easy to get people to sit in one camp or another camp, and they just have this point of pride about position, and rather than a point of pride in being flexible and understanding and open-minded, really largely this, I think, is where we're at as a society on a global scale. Very, very concerning what's happening right now in Canada. I mean, I'm speaking to the folks that aren't in Canada, of course, when I talk to this. But I mean, I know there's things happening in South America, there's things happening in Europe, it's all, you know, all over the world, and pretty doggone concerning. So I promised I'd get back to talking about chickens. Well, here we are. I'm on my way to the chicken house with my no-freeze chicken water. The no-freeze chicken water is a standard vacuum style water with heat trace and insulation wrapped around it, and I can keep it plugged in over here, and it gets about -17 until it freezes. And it doesn't freeze inside the jug, it freezes in the tray beneath. So, well, today we're -20, tonight's gonna hit -30, so I have to do the unthinkable and actually put it in the chicken house, and it's gonna be there for 2 days. Gonna get some snow out of the way here at the door. It's gonna be in there for 2 days, and then it'll be back out. We don't want to leave it in there because it can contribute to overall humidity in the coop. Makes for a stinky mess. So as you probably saw there, things are looking pretty white outside. Yeah, we, over the last 24 to 48 hours, we got about 6 to 8 inches of snow. So I could choose to break my back with a shovel. Absolutely not. Or I could go out there with my Leaf Blower 3000, make short work of this. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna fire this up and we're gonna clear off all the vehicles. We're gonna clear the deck, and it's gonna take me all of about 5 minutes. And then I'm gonna go for a cup of tea. Well, I thought I was done and I could go back and have a cup of tea, but as you can see, I'm back at the tractor. What happened? Well, the wife came out while I was snow blowing, said, "Did you remember to bed the bulls?" Yeah, no, I didn't. I completely forgot. So she gave me this look that said, "You're an idiot," and I went back in the house. So I assumed that I should probably run a straw bale out to the bulls and get them bedded before I even contemplate getting a cup of tea. So I'll go do that right now. Then see about a snack. There, I'm done. Finally, I can go get my cup of tea, and it's now lunchtime, so cup of tea and a sandwich, maybe a bowl of soup. That's going to be a good time. But it kind of leads me, because now we're midday now. It's busy morning, right? It leads me to the next thing an upcoming subject that we're going to talk about is time management. So that's going to be the subject of our next live video with Bloom Family Farm that we do right up there on the mezzanine. I think if all works out, we should be scheduled to do that this coming Friday. I think that's, what is that, the 25th? Yeah, 25th. So stay tuned. Anyways, there'll be a poster come out and you'll see it, and we'll put it out there on our community page for sure, so nobody can miss it. But yeah, we're going to talk about time management and what really eats your lunch on the farm. Because talk about a limiting factor. Time is definitely one of the biggest ones. But yeah, my stomach's growling here now, and I'm parched, so I better go get a cup of tea and a sandwich. I'll let you go for now. Hope you have a fantastic Sunday afternoon, and we'll see you tomorrow.